Why do the Quindio wax palms choose to rise alone, piercing the dense mist of the Cocora Valley in search of the stillness above? Why, amid the tranquil wetlands of Bolivar, have people chosen to build their lives upon the water, moving in harmony with the rhythm of the tides? The answer is not found on a map. It is found in instinct. Every square meter of Colombia tells a story of adaptation. From the mirror-like calm surrounding the remote coral island of San Andrés to the careful craftsmanship of the artisans of Antioquia, who continue to build their lives along the steep slopes of the Andes. Perhaps by choosing to like, share, and follow this journey, we have already shared the same desire to experience Colombia in its most authentic form. Because here, people do not simply exist. They become part of the landscape. They have transformed the harshness of towering gray limestone cliffs and the profound mystery of the Amazon rainforest into a culture unlike any other. It is a land in constant motion, where concrete and wilderness continuously reshape one another. For this moment, leave your worries behind the door. Let your heartbeat fall into rhythm with this remarkable country as we search for the true soul of Colombia through the details that so often go unnoticed. Our journey begins among the red brick streets beneath the cool gray skies of Bogotá. Bogotá. Colombia's capital, Bogotá, welcomes you at an elevation of 2,640 meters above sea level, where the tropical warmth so often associated with South America gives way to an atmosphere that is quiet, cool, and contemplative. Seen from above, the city reveals a striking contrast. Endless stretches of warm, red brick buildings set against the cool gray skies that define the Andean highlands. This is not a place of bold, flamboyant colors, but a city of restrained tones, where every street corner carries an air of dignity and quiet discipline. Bogotá's architecture is an open chronicle, telling the story of a rich historical convergence. Colonial-era buildings, with their weathered clay tile roofs and whitewashed walls, stand steadfast beneath the towering slopes of Montserrat. Here, the fog is more than a weather phenomenon. It is part of the city's very soul. It drifts down from the surrounding mountains, wrapping around wrought iron street lamps and blurring the boundary between earth and sky. Within this atmosphere, the sounds of urban life seem filtered through a natural veil, becoming softer, deeper, and almost dreamlike. The flow of life in Bogotá remains energetic, yet it follows a rhythm entirely its own, not loud or hurried, but steady, deliberate, and enduring. Residents move through the city in heavy coats, their confident footsteps echoing along the stone-paved streets of La Candelaria, where the walls support not only rooftops, but also the weight of centuries of memory. Bogotá does not ask you to understand it at first glance. It rewards those who take the time to appreciate the rugged beauty of its red brick, or the quiet stillness of its historic churches as evening settles over the city. Step inside the Gold Museum, Museo del Oro, and you will find yourself amazed by one of the world's finest collections of exquisitely crafted gold artifacts. A remarkable testament to the legendary El Dorado civilization that once flourished in this very land. The city feels like a living presence breathing slowly in the thin mountain air, where every alleyway holds a story waiting to be discovered. As night gradually takes over, the warm glow of neighborhood lights begins to shimmer through the drifting mist, creating an urban landscape that feels both unmistakably real and strangely removed from the world below the mountains. This is the true identity of Bogotá, a city hidden within the clouds, quietly reserved yet filled with extraordinary cultural depth. Medellin. Leaving behind the quiet solemnity of the capital, Medellin emerges within the Aburrá Valley as a powerful testament to renewal rising from the ashes. If Bogotá is a city of quiet reflection, Medellin is a city whose pulse climbs with the surrounding hills. Here, the urban landscape is more than a collection of concrete structures. It is a living organism that breathes alongside its people through the city's modern metro system and the remarkable metro cable gondolas that cling to the steep mountainsides. This extraordinary transportation network is far more than a means of travel. It serves as the city's lifeblood, breaking down isolation and connecting neighborhoods from the valley floor to communities nestled high among the clouds. Rather than expanding across flat terrain, Medellin has embraced vertical growth, where the giant outdoor escalators of Comuna 13 have transformed once exhausting hillsides into vibrant corridors of public art and color. From a metro cable cabin suspended high above the city, you can witness the landscape transforming before your eyes. Densely packed red brick homes gradually give way to lush green parks and gleaming downtown skyscrapers shimmering beneath the brilliant tropical sun. The light of Medellin possesses a crisp brilliance, reflecting from the glass facades of modern innovation districts in the city that was once recognized as the world's most innovative city. Life here is unmistakably future-oriented, fast, purposeful, and forward-looking, yet never lacking its artistic soul. That creative spirit is vividly expressed in Botero Plaza, where the iconic, oversized bronze sculptures of renowned artist Fernando Botero create a cultural landmark that stands proudly at the heart of the city. Medellin's turbulent past has not been erased. Instead, it has been transformed into the foundation of an extraordinary story of resilience and ambition. This is a city that never stands still, where every staircase and every cable line tells a story of perseverance. As evening settles over the valley, millions of lights begin to glow across the surrounding hillsides, transforming the Aburrá Valley into a vast man-made galaxy and affirming Medellin's identity as a modern, confident, and vibrant city thriving among the mountains. Antioquia. Venturing deeper into Antioquia, the rhythm of modern urban life gradually gives way to the rugged grandeur of the Andes' steep mountainsides. This region possesses a rustic beauty, where dense shrubs intertwine with lush coffee plantations that cling tenaciously to towering gray limestone slopes. The terrain here is anything but level. Instead, it is a continuous series of dramatic elevations, demanding remarkable resilience from every form of life that calls it home. In Antioquia, life moves to the steady, enduring heartbeat of the mountains. Small villages with traditional architecture perch along the hillsides, adding vibrant splashes of color against the majestic backdrop of the surrounding landscape. Here, time seems to slow, following the rhythm of the harvest and the daily climb along steep mountain paths. There is little room for extravagance. The region's identity is rooted in authenticity, simplicity, and the enduring traditions of craftsmanship passed down through generations. The aroma of freshly roasted coffee is inseparable from the atmosphere of this land. It mingles with the dry warmth of the highlands, drifting through narrow cobblestone lanes and into the quiet courtyards of centuries-old homes. Coffee is more than an agricultural product. It is the region's lifeblood, telling the story of the meeting between mineral-rich limestone and the fertile soils of the mountains. Every coffee bean carries within it the chill of the mountain night and the unmistakable warmth of the midday sun. Antioquia's rustic character is also reflected in the way its people interact with the landscape. Winding footpaths, wooden bridges crossing mountain streams, and aging freight trucks steadily making their way across the hillsides all speak of a life shaped by the terrain. Together, they create a vivid portrait of honest labor, unpretentious, yet profoundly compelling. Standing amid this landscape, you can almost feel the weight of the earth beneath your feet and the unwavering strength of the stone, where the identity of the mountain people has been forged through generations of enduring nature's challenges. Antioquia is more than a destination. It is a symbol of perseverance, a steady heartbeat echoing through the majestic Andes. Comuna Trech. Once considered one of the most dangerous neighborhoods on Earth, Comuna 13 has transformed into a vast open-air art gallery clinging to the steep mountainsides of Medellin. It is far more than a tourist destination. It is a symbol of a community that courageously emerged from the shadows of violence to rewrite its own destiny through murals, music, and the vibrant energy of hip-hop. Comuna Trech's remarkable transformation began with a deeply human-centered vision of urban renewal, where geographic barriers were overcome by the construction of the escaleras eléctricas, the neighborhood's giant outdoor escalator system. These 6 sections of outdoor escalators are not merely an engineering achievement. They are bridges of hope, freeing residents from the isolation once imposed by the neighborhood's steep hillsides. As you ride upward, you travel through layers of history. From tightly packed red brick homes to vibrant walls covered with iconic murals bursting with color. Street art in Comuna Trece is not created simply for decoration. It is a powerful cry for peace and a declaration of life itself. Every graffiti mural tells a story. Some speak of the pain left behind by years of conflict, but above all, they express an unwavering belief in a brighter future. Local artists have transformed narrow, winding alleyways into a living maze of creativity, where the rhythms of rap music and the energy of breakdancing echo from every corner as enduring expressions of the neighborhood's identity. Walking through the winding streets of Comuna 13, visitors are often struck by an extraordinary sense of optimism radiating from the laughter of children and the warmth of the local community. Here, the meaning of prosperity has been redefined. It is found not in material wealth, but in the freedom to live, to create, and to take pride in one's roots. Standing high above the neighborhood with panoramic views of Medellin, it becomes clear that Comuna Trece is more than a triumph of urban planning. It is an anthem to human resilience, where color has overcome darkness and the strength of community has turned the impossible into reality. This is a place that reminds us to value the power of transformation, proving that even in the harshest environments, beauty can take root and flourish wherever love and hope are allowed to grow. Guatapé. If there is one place where human craftsmanship illuminates an already magnificent natural landscape, it is Guatapé. Rather than quietly blending into the emerald beauty of the surrounding highlands, this town boldly announces its presence through a vibrant palette of color and life. The defining feature and the very soul of its architecture is found in the zócalos. These are intricately carved and hand-painted relief panels decorating the lower portions of nearly every building, transforming the steep cobblestone streets into an open-air museum of folk art. Take a closer look at the details carved into these geometric designs and symbolic images. Each zócalo is far more than a decorative element. It serves as a visual diary, telling stories of everyday life, religious faith, and even the occupations and dreams of the families who live behind each doorway. Some depict cattle, coffee beans, or scenes of rural life, while others embrace abstract forms with beautifully balanced and symmetrical patterns. As a result, every house becomes a carefully crafted work of art, reflecting an atmosphere that is cheerful and energetic, while remaining deeply respectful of generations-old traditions. The brilliant colors of the homes, ranging from vivid reds and sunlit yellows to bright shades of blue, stand out with remarkable intensity against the deep green waters of the vast reservoir surrounding the town. Seen from a distance, Guatapé resembles a bold yet graceful brushstroke painted across the lush canvas of Colombia's highland landscape. This striking contrast creates a powerful visual impression, reminding us of humanity's remarkable ability to create beauty even within rugged terrain. Despite its explosion of color, life here unfolds with an admirable sense of balance. There is no overwhelming bustle or chaos. Instead, everything moves at an unhurried pace, guided by the footsteps of visitors and the relaxed conversations of local residents gathered beside their wooden windows. Guatapé is proof that art can become a universal language, where individual creativity blends seamlessly into a shared cultural identity to create a destination that feels both authentic and profoundly artistic. This is not simply a town to admire. It is a place where every painted wall invites you to read the stories preserved within it. El Peñol. Rising majestically above the vast landscapes of Antioquia, El Peñol is an immense monolithic granite rock, towering like an eternal sentinel watching over the land below. The atmosphere here is not softened by drifting clouds or gentle scenery. Instead, it is filled with a sense of raw strength, solid mass, and unyielding geological power. This towering gray formation is more than a natural wonder. It is a timeless symbol of endurance, standing unwavering against the passage of time. The feature that completely transforms the appearance of the rock is its remarkable staircase. 740 concrete steps built in a dramatic zigzag pattern, clinging to a natural fissure running up the nearly vertical cliff. From a distance, the staircase resembles a giant seam stitching the earth to the summit above. It is a powerful testament to humanity's determination in the face of gravity itself. Climbing El Peñol is not an experience meant to be rushed. It demands steady breathing, persistence with every step, and the determination to overcome the relentless pull of the earth beneath your feet. Each rough concrete stair becomes a quiet test of endurance. The higher you climb, the thinner the air becomes and the stronger the winds grow, reinforcing the overwhelming sense of isolation and grandeur that surrounds the massive rock. The contrast between human engineering and a granite formation millions of years old creates a feeling that is at once humbling and inspiring. Here, every notion of decoration or excess fades away, leaving only the raw permanence of stone and the resilience of human effort. When your final step reaches the summit, every ounce of effort is rewarded with an endless panorama. From this vantage point, the imposing granite monolith merges seamlessly with the extraordinary landscape below. a vast network of emerald blue reservoirs scattered with hundreds of islands that appear like green jewels floating across the water. El Peñol stands in silent majesty, reminding us that reaching the summit is not merely a geographical achievement, but the result of confronting gravity head-on and pushing beyond the limits we once believed were impossible. Cali. Descending from the cool, windswept highlands, Cali welcomes you into an entirely different world, the rich, humid warmth of the Cauca Valley. Here, sunlight is no longer softened by mist or clouds. Instead, it pours down almost vertically, illuminating broad plazas and open-air architecture designed to capture every rare passing breeze. Cali is a city painted in vivid colors, where both the tropical climate and the rhythm of daily life remain constantly alive with energy. The city does not move with the dry urgency of an industrial metropolis. Instead, it pulses with a powerful inner vitality, flowing quietly beneath even its smallest movements. You can sense it immediately in the way people carry themselves, with a graceful ease that is both relaxed and unmistakably confident. This is the salsa capital of the world, where music is not merely heard through speakers, but seems to permeate the very air, shaping the way people speak, move, and connect with one another. The heat here does not drain your energy. Instead, it acts as a catalyst, quickening the heartbeat and giving every moment a freer, more rhythmic flow. Cali's charm is found in the lush bamboo groves lining the riverbanks and the tree-shaded streets where residents pause to enjoy refreshing glasses of fresh fruit juice beneath towering old trees. The city's architecture embraces openness, with long corridors and spacious courtyards flooded with natural light. Sweat is simply part of life here, a testament to both hard work and the joy of living fully in an environment overflowing with warmth and vitality. As evening approaches, cool breezes descend from the Andes into the valley, softening the intense daytime heat while awakening the city's vibrant nightlife. Dance clubs come alive, where salsa becomes a language without words, bringing strangers together through rhythm alone. In Cali, the boundary between everyday life and art dissolves beneath the warmth of the valley, creating an identity that is passionate, welcoming, and unlike anywhere else. It is a city that never surrenders to the heat, but instead transforms it into a celebration of resilience, movement, and the pure joy of being alive. Valle del Cauca. In Valle del Cauca, a traveler's gaze is completely liberated as it meets an immense open landscape, entirely removed from the steep ravines and towering mountain slopes. Endless sugarcane fields stretch as far as the eye can see, reaching all the way to the horizon and creating a vast, uninterrupted expanse of lush green. Here, the landscape is no longer defined by the challenge of elevation, but by an extraordinary display of sheer scale and abundance. The region radiates a sense of tranquility and quiet balance, forming a striking contrast with the hazy blue-gray Andes Mountains standing watch in the distant background. The valley's flat terrain allows sunlight to spread evenly across the land, creating a visual impression of stillness and boundless openness. There are no hidden corners, no rugged contours. Everything here seems to breathe at an unhurried pace. Life is measured not by hurried footsteps, but by the ground trains. The remarkably long sugarcane trucks that steadily travel along perfectly straight roads cutting through the plantations. These vehicles become ribbons that extend the serenity of the plains, connecting the tireless labor of the people with the ceaseless rhythm of nature. The region's architecture bears the unmistakable imprint of history through its centuries-old haciendas, grand plantation estates that have stood the test of time. With their expansive clay-tiled roofs and deep, shaded verandas, they were thoughtfully designed to welcome the free-flowing breezes sweeping through the valley. The people of this land embody the calm confidence and broad-minded spirit of those who work across vast stretches of fertile ground. They understand that true prosperity is never rushed, but cultivated patiently over time, much like the sugarcane that rises steadily under the nourishing blend of rich alluvial soil, sunshine, and wind. As sunset descends, the horizon of Valle del Cauca remains unobstructed by towering peaks or modern skyscrapers. Golden light washes over the swaying sugarcane, transforming the fields into a brilliant sea of gold that stretches beyond the limits of sight. It is a moment when the majesty of nature reveals itself through simplicity and monumental scale. Valle del Cauca needs no monumental structures to leave a lasting impression. The quiet expansiveness and gentle rhythm of its endless sugarcane fields create an enduring inner strength, a profound sense of stability and everlasting abundance at the very heart of Colombia. Cocora Valley. Stepping into Cocora Valley is like entering an ethereal realm where the ordinary principles of nature's proportions seem to be completely rewritten. Here, the Quindío wax palms, the national symbol of Colombia, rise toward the sky like solitary pillars. Reaching heights of up to 60 meters, these trees possess slender yet resilient trunks, extending far above the layers of mist that frequently envelop the valley. The arrangement of these palm groves creates an absolute upward rhythm, compelling every gaze to follow their vertical lines in search of treetops that disappear into the fog. The atmosphere at this altitude carries a sense of lightness and purity. The sounds here are no longer filled with the echoes of rocky mountains or the density of urban life, but only the gentle whispers of wind passing through the leaves at an almost unimaginable height. It is an intentional silence, a pause created by nature itself that instinctively encourages people to become quiet and simply observe. The smooth trunks of the wax palms, covered in a natural layer of wax, stand proudly among the vivid green hills, creating a landscape that is both magnificent and touched by a sense of solitude. The mist of Cocora does not remain still. It moves and weaves between each tree trunk, appearing and disappearing like a veil, blurring the boundary between earth and sky. There are moments when you can only see the sturdy roots beneath your feet and the mysterious silhouettes of leaves above, making the entire valley appear like an unfinished architectural masterpiece created by nature. This ethereal beauty does not come from vibrant colors, but from the simplicity of the vertical lines and the silvery gray tones of the palm trunks blending into the whiteness of the clouds. The rhythm of this land is slow and gentle, matching the thin atmosphere of the highlands. People move among these enormous pillars, like tiny beings within a vast natural cathedral. Without the need for elaborate explanations, Cocora itself becomes a message about perseverance and the beauty of reaching toward greater heights. When the thin mist briefly fades away, revealing a panoramic view of the entire valley, you experience a strange and profound connection. A place where the weight of the earth and the lightness of the sky are united by the proud, towering trunks of the wax palms. Tatacoa Desert. Tatacoa Desert does not welcome you with the familiar sight of endless golden dunes. Instead, it reveals a raw geological reality through a mesmerizing maze of ochre-colored erosional formations. This is a land of natural geometric structures, where water and wind have carved deep ravines and strange earthen pillars over millions of years. The surface of the earth here is not smooth, but dramatically fragmented, creating a landscape that is both artistic and harsh, as if belonging to another planet. The sounds of Tatacoa possess a uniquely dry and haunting quality. Within the absolute silence of this arid land, a single footstep on hardened ground or the faint whistle of wind passing through rocky crevices can become remarkably distinct. There is no rustling of leaves or sound of flowing water. Everything is subdued by the profound stillness beneath an intensely blue sky untouched by clouds. Here, the human breath seems to naturally slow down in order to adapt to the suspended rhythm of the surroundings. Time in Tatacoa is not measured by the hands of a clock, but revealed through layers of sediment and countless cracks spreading across the earth. Every square meter of stone and soil preserves traces of ancient geological eras, creating a profound sense of eternity. The silence here does not evoke emptiness. Instead, it carries the weight of an existence that has endured through countless ages. This is a place where the urgency of modern life becomes meaningless before the unwavering endurance of the earth and the intense heat of the daytime sun. When night falls, Tatacoa transforms from a maze of brick-red landscapes into a vast astronomical observatory. The desert's complete silence becomes the perfect backdrop for millions of stars that emerge and shimmer across the deep, endless night sky. Within this immense and pristine space, human presence becomes small and almost intangible. Standing among the cracks of the earth while looking toward the Milky Way, you can feel the most primordial connection between the substance of the planet and the light of the universe. Tatacoa is not merely a geographical location. It is a place of pause where one can truly experience the stillness of time itself. Santa Marta. Santa Marta does not welcome you with luxurious splendor or carefully crafted perfection. As the oldest surviving city in Colombia, it carries a realistic, raw, and vibrant beauty shaped by the character of a coastal gateway. Here, space is a clear overlap of many layers of time. You can sense the sharp scent of sea salt drifting from modern harbors, where the steel structures of enormous ocean vessels stand beside the ancient stone foundations of the indigenous Tairona people. The essence of Santa Marta does not lie in silence, but in the energy of constant movement and transition. It is a definitive intersection between the past and the present. Narrow streets lined with time-worn Spanish colonial architecture exist alongside the bustling rhythm of an energetic port city. The weathered plaster walls, eroded by sea winds, do not represent decay. Instead, they tell a story of resilience against the harsh forces of nature. In Santa Marta, the rhythm of the land carries the unmistakable character of wind, salt, and the dust of human labor. The echoes of ship horns from the bay blend with the everyday sounds of life in the central markets, creating an authentic symphony without any form of embellishment. Ancient stones from historical ruins and the steel of the maritime industry coexist within the same space, reminding us of the city's strategic importance throughout centuries of history. The people here embody the decisive and free-spirited nature of those whose lives are connected to the sea in distant journeys. They do not stand still to simply admire history. Instead, they live alongside history every day through the constant exchange of commerce and human activity. The simplicity of Santa Marta is also reflected in its open plazas, where the shade of ancient trees shelters the leisurely conversations of local residents. As the sun sets over the bay, golden orange light illuminates the Sierra Nevada mountains rising behind the city, revealing Santa Marta as a bridge between the vast ocean and the magnificent wilderness beyond. It is a true crossroads, where the stories of 16th century explorers still echo amid the restless flow of the 21st century. This city does not ask you to admire its dazzling beauty. It asks you to understand the weight of time carried within every breath of sunlight, wind, and sea air. Minca. As the journey begins upward into the Sierra Nevada mountains, the raw character of the port city of Santa Marta gradually gives way to Minca. This place welcomes you with a sudden transformation of sensation, the smooth, humid embrace of the cloud forests. The atmosphere of Minca is thick with moisture, yet remarkably fresh, carrying a gentle and profound energy that feels completely different from the dryness of the plains or the intense heat of the valleys. The architecture here seems unwilling to separate itself from nature. Structures made of bamboo, wood, and thatched roofs are carefully hidden beneath vast canopies of deep green foliage. In Minca, the boundary between living spaces and the surrounding jungle becomes incredibly fragile. You may find yourself standing inside a home where the dominant sounds are not machines, but the voices of small waterfalls scattered throughout the landscape, creating a steady and peaceful natural symphony. The rhythm of Minca is slow, relaxed, and deeply immersive. Here, all forms of haste seem to be held back by layers of dense foliage. The energy of the cloud forest invites people to completely release their tension, temporarily forgetting the pressures of time while filling their lungs with the scent of damp earth, ferns, and the rich aroma of tree sap. This is a place where your sense of touch awakens through tiny droplets of mist resting on your skin, while your sense of smell is soothed by the most authentic fragrances of the wilderness. The people of Minca also move and live according to a slower rhythm. Organic coffee plantations are scattered across the hillsides, where cultivation follows the natural cycles of the environment and the growth patterns of the surrounding forest. Without harsh mechanical interference, all living things here coexist in a delicate yet enduring balance. As afternoon fades, clouds from the mountain peaks often descend low over the landscape, covering the red dirt trails and blurring the outlines of wooden houses. At this moment, Minca becomes more isolated and tranquil than ever before. The absolute serenity offered by this land does not come from luxurious comforts, but from the privilege of breathing in harmony with the ancient forest, surrounded by a deep green ecosystem overflowing with life. Mingsa is a necessary pause in the journey, a place where the mind is cleansed and renewed through the quiet strength and gentle embrace of the Sierra Nevada. Tayrona National Park. In Tayrona National Park, nature presents a dramatic collision between two opposing yet deeply connected forces. This is not a gentle coastal landscape, but a place where lush tropical forests descend directly into the deep blue ocean, erasing every boundary between land and sea. The terrain of Tayrona possesses a wild and untouched beauty, where enormous granite boulders with smooth surfaces lie scattered across soft, white beaches, like ancient beings standing guard over the coastline. The energy of this land is one of powerful and direct confrontation. You can feel this force through the rhythm of waves relentlessly crashing against rocky shores, exploding into white foam while blending with the sound of jungle winds sweeping through towering palm trees. Without the delicate intervention of human hands, everything in Tayrona exists in its most original form, seemingly impossible to tame. The ancient roots of massive trees twist across the ground, gripping tightly to cracks in the rocks and creating a living network that connects the depths of the earth with the edge of the sea. The rhythm of this place is decisive and overflowing with vitality. Walking along forest trails beneath the canopy, your senses are surrounded by the unusual combination of damp fallen leaves and the salty fragrance of ocean air. Tayrona does not invite quiet admiration from a distance. It demands movement and adaptation, requiring you to overcome rugged slopes and the intense equatorial heat in order to reach hidden beaches concealed behind enormous rock formations. This is a land where history and nature exist together in a state of powerful silence. The remaining archaeological sites of the indigenous Tayrona people, hidden deep within the rainforest, stand as evidence of a civilization that once lived in harmony with the challenges of this extraordinary landscape. The wilderness here does not inspire fear, but instead offers a sense of pure freedom, a place where humans recognize their own smallness before an ecosystem that is powerful, resilient, and proud. When sunset paints the massive rocks in shades of red and ignites the horizon with light, Tayrona emerges as a portrait of the most primal form of survival. The wind continues to blow, the waves continue to crash, and the forest continues to reach toward the ocean in a cycle that never ends. This is not merely a tourist destination, but a space where one can experience the raw power of the earth itself, where every breath carries the rhythm of the eternal collision between the great wilderness and the vast ocean. Palomino. Palomino is the final stop, where rivers born high in the Sierra Nevada mountains complete their tireless journey by merging into the vast Caribbean Sea. Here, geography does not create strict boundaries, but instead opens a space of connection, harmony, and freedom. The most distinctive feature of this land lies in the fascinating contrast between two forms of water. The gentle, peaceful sweetness of rivers flowing from the mountains, and the salty, powerful force of ocean waves that endlessly strike the shore. The energy of Palomino carries a sense of openness and tranquility, much like the rhythm of a natural current moving without restraint. There is no urban rush, nor the harshness of high mountain terrain. Everything here invites complete relaxation and surrender. The image of travelers floating freely on inner tubes along the river, allowing the current to carry them toward the sea, becomes a symbol of trust and complete harmony with nature. The rhythm of Palomino is a combination of the quiet serenity of riverside forests and the lively presence of ocean winds. Along both riverbanks, rows of leaning palm trees cast their reflections onto the calm water, where water birds search for moments of peace. As you move closer toward the river mouth, the deep murmur of the ocean gradually overtakes the surroundings, signaling a transformation in atmosphere and sensation. The architecture and lifestyle of Palomino also embody this same spirit of freedom. Thatched roof houses, small roadside cafes, and the slow-paced way of life of the local people all reflect a contentment with the gifts provided by nature. The space here is not defined by walls, but by endless horizons where white sand, flowing rivers, and blue ocean exist together within a single view. Standing at the meeting point between river and sea at the end of the day, you will witness the sunset painting both waters in golden light. On one side lies the river surface, still and reflective like glass. On the other stretches the ocean, alive with waves of white foam. Palomino reminds us of the beauty found in both endings and new beginnings, where every small current eventually finds its place within something far greater. This is not merely a beach, but a place where the mind can drift freely with the flow of nature, discovering balance between the peaceful and the powerful forces of life. Magdalena River. Magdalena is not merely a river. It is an eternal lifeline, a thread that connects the geography and spirit of an entire continent. Here, the Cienega wetland ecosystem emerges as a vast living entity, where distinctive mangrove forests extend their tangled roots deep into the muddy earth. This landscape is a remarkable creation of nature, where fresh water flowing from the highlands intertwines with salt water from the ocean, forming a fertile habitat with astonishing biodiversity. At Magdalena, your vision is overwhelmed by a vast surface of water that appears calm, yet is never truly still. The energy here is defined by constant movement, a quiet but enduring force carrying rich sediment downstream to nourish the fertile lowlands. The rhythm of this land is inseparable from the rhythm of water, rising high to flood the wetlands, then receding to reveal dark patches of soil filled with the vitality of life. This is a current of survival, where every living creature, from water birds to aquatic species, moves according to the cycles of tides and seasons. The riverside communities along the Magdalena River reflect a profound beauty of adaptation. Simple stilt houses cast their reflections onto the water, while small wooden boats rest beside mangrove-lined shores, creating a portrait of harmonious coexistence between humans and the river. There is no hurried pace of machinery. Life here follows the rhythm of the current, carrying with it legendary stories and folk melodies deeply rooted in the culture of the riverside communities. The essence of Magdalena is the scent of damp earth, brackish water, and continuous renewal. As you travel through narrow channels hidden within the mangrove forests, you experience nature's embrace, a feeling that is both immense and deeply intimate. Sunlight reflecting across the surface of the wetlands creates shimmering patterns like fish scales, dissolving the boundary between water and the distant horizon. At sunset, when the sun slowly disappears behind faraway mangrove forests, the Magdalena River transforms into a majestic shade of deep purple. This is the moment when one can most clearly understand the power of water, a force that does not need to display its strength, yet possesses the ability to shape an entire culture and history. Magdalena stands there, flowing endlessly and offering its generosity, reminding us that all life begins and is sustained through the continuous rhythms of water. Here, time is not measured in seconds or moments, but in the layers of fertile sediment deposited throughout centuries. Bolivar. Stretching across Colombia's Caribbean coastline, Bolivar is not merely an administrative region, but a dynamic space where the city and the ocean meet in direct interaction. Here, the horizon is no longer a purely natural boundary, but is redefined by high-rise structures rising vertically from the waterfront, creating a sharp and distinctive skyline along the coast. Instead of the stillness of the plains, the rhythm of Bolivar emerges through the continuous flow of a coastal port city. The seaside roads, docks, and modern developments operate as an open system, where ocean winds, sunlight, and people are constantly in motion. The space here is not divided, but expands horizontally, a long urban strip where every activity faces the ocean as its primary reference point. From above, Bolivar's structure reveals a clear sense of organization. On one side lies the vast Caribbean Sea with its steady shades of blue, while on the other side are layers of urban structures increasing in density toward the city center. Breakwaters, artificial beaches, and coastal roads form a technical buffer between nature and human civilization, a space where the ocean is not only admired, but also managed and integrated into urban life. The energy here is dispersed, yet continuous. It is the movement of traffic, commercial activity, and living spaces stacked vertically across the urban landscape. Light does not spread evenly, as it does across open plains. Instead, it reflects through glass, concrete, and water, creating a visual surface that constantly changes throughout the day. When sunset arrives, Bolivar does not fall into silence, but shifts into another state. The horizon glows with the lights of the city, while the sea reflects elongated streaks of illumination like a vast moving mirror. This is no longer a purely natural landscape, but a fully urbanized coastal environment, where humans reshape the scenery to accommodate the rhythm of modern life. Bolivar therefore does not represent untouched wilderness, but rather Colombia's ability to adapt and expand toward the ocean. It is a land where the sea does not mark the end of territory, but becomes an extension of the city itself. Cartagena de Indias. In contrast to the carefree openness of the beaches stretching beyond its shores, the historic center of Cartagena de Indias carries an energy that is firm, decisive, and quietly reserved. Passing through the city gates, the space seems to tighten, enclosed by massive walls built from rugged coral stone. These are solid structures, bearing the traces of marine organisms that fossilized over centuries, now standing as a powerful reminder of a past defined by strict defense against attacks from the ocean. The energy here is deeply nostalgic, surrounded by military fortifications and imposing watchtowers. The architecture of the historic center does not prioritize delicacy. Instead, it features heavy wooden doors reinforced with rows of rusted iron studs and bronze door knockers cast in the shapes of sea creatures. These mechanical details create a sense of fortified privacy, where every footstep on the limestone pavement echoes with a deep rhythm, as if the footsteps of ancient knights and soldiers still linger through the narrow alleys. The rhythm of life within the city walls carries a distinct sense of slowness. Light is restricted by wooden balconies extending closely above the streets, creating deep shadows even in the middle of the day. This brings intense attention to architectural details. From coral stone walls marked by centuries of erosion to expansive stone-paved plazas that once served as gathering points for military supplies. The enclosure of the stone walls does not create a feeling of confinement, but rather a sense of strong protection. a space where history has been condensed and preserved, completely separated from the modern world outside. Walking through the corridors of San Felipe Fortress, you can feel the weight of the stone and the intelligence behind ancient military engineering. Sea winds pass through the narrow openings of the fortress walls, carrying the taste of salt, yet they cannot diminish the solemn atmosphere of the space. Cartagena de Indias appears as an entity standing beyond the ordinary flow of time, where the strength of coral stone and the nostalgia of colonial architecture come together to create a resilient identity. This is a place where people can contemplate the power of defense and the beauty of values preserved through centuries of determination, endurance, and unwavering will. San Andres. Leaving mainland Colombia behind and traveling to San Andres, you arrive at an isolated coral island standing proudly in the heart of the Caribbean Sea. Here, all the unnecessary complexity of urban life seems to be completely washed away, replaced by a space of astonishing simplicity and purity. San Andres does not require massive structures to make an impression. The untouched clarity of nature itself creates a powerful attraction, where every element is reduced to its essence in order to highlight the beauty of light and water. The sea surrounding the island is a vibrant living entity, displaying 7 different shades of blue, shifting in tone according to the depth of the water and the structure of the coral reefs below. Under the brilliance of the sun, the ocean's surface becomes as transparent as a gigantic crystal, allowing the eyes to discover diverse coral formations and schools of fish moving freely beneath the waves. This clarity exists not only visually, but also permeates the atmosphere, bringing a feeling of absolute freshness and purification to everyone who sets foot on the island. The architecture of San Andres carries a strong Anglo-Caribbean influence, with gentle wooden houses painted in bright colors and nestled among rows of coconut palms. These structures do not carry the heaviness of stone and brick. Instead, they seem to sway softly with the rhythm of waves and the passing ocean breeze. The rhythm of San Andres is incredibly light, a peaceful cadence perfectly aligned with the movement of the sea. There's no place for urgency here. Everything unfolds naturally and calmly, like the steady breathing of a living being in a state of rest. The energy of this island feels weightless, completely separated from the noise and intensity of distant continents. You can feel a sense of freedom in every step across the smooth white sand, where the gentle sound of waves is the only voice dominating the landscape. San Andres does not demand dramatic exploration. It invites you into a state of stillness, where the mind can relax and merge with the delicate vibrations of water and wind. When the sun sets, the island does not disappear into darkness, but is wrapped in a soothing, deep blue glow, reflecting the light of the stars across the calm surface of the sea. There is San Andres, a crystal suspended in the ocean, where purity and simplicity become the highest language for honoring the ethereal beauty of the Caribbean. A truly restorative space where people can rediscover balance, and where every moment feels as pristine as if it has just begun. Amazon River. Standing before the Amazon, the second longest river in the world, yet the greatest in terms of water volume, you are not merely facing a geographical current, but the very soul of an entire continent. The murky waters, heavy with sediment, flow quietly and slowly, yet carry an infinite power, capable of altering even the salinity of the ocean, where they eventually merge. This is a forceful living entity, a colossal artery sustaining the most complex network of life on the planet. The scale of the Amazon challenges human perception. Standing on one shore, you often cannot see the opposite bank. Instead, you are met with a vast water horizon that resembles an endless sea. The atmosphere here is so solemn and magnificent that every human sound becomes insignificant. The river does not require violent waves to demonstrate its dominance. It is the absolute stillness of the surface, concealing powerful currents beneath, that creates an energy filled with majesty and immense weight. The rhythm of the Amazon is a continuous movement that has endured through countless ages. It carries fertile sediments that nourish the densest rainforests on Earth, carries ancient drifting trees, and carries the legendary stories of indigenous communities who have lived alongside its waters. When sunlight reflects upon the dark surface of the river, it creates a metallic shimmer that highlights the raw and primal character of this immense waterway. Here, nature does not reveal its power through brilliance, but through a commanding presence that completely occupies every sense of the traveler. The grandeur of the river also comes from the way it governs the entire surrounding ecosystem. From the flooded Igapo forests to the unique species hidden beneath the muddy waters, everything moves according to the rhythm of the river's rising and receding cycles. This is a world governed by its own laws, where strength does not come from collision, but from the perseverance of flowing endlessly across thousands of miles. Within the profound silence of the great wilderness, the gentle sound of water touching the side of a boat becomes a reminder of the wonders that continue to exist quietly within the heart of the world. The Amazon stands there, generous yet mysterious, a silence carrying the ultimate authority of nature. Every mile traveled by this river is another affirmation of life, a testament to the endurance of matter and the power of the immense currents that originate from the deepest foundations of the earth. Leticia and the Amazon. Finally, the journey leads us to the gateway of the Amazon rainforest in Leticia, a meeting point at the tri-border region where the boundaries between nations become insignificant before the dominance of nature. Here, humans immediately feel themselves immersed within the immense and dense green world of the tropical rainforest. This is not the gentle green of soft grasslands, but a deep, heavy, and powerful shade of green belonging to an ecosystem that has existed for millions of years. The energy of the Amazon in Leticia carries a profound mystery and an overwhelming vitality that is both astonishing and intense. There is no space for emptiness. Every centimeter of soil is alive with growth, and every layer of overlapping foliage conceals countless the endless calls of insects to the distant cries of unfamiliar birds form a dense symphony that completely surrounds the senses.